Everyone, this is Sam from Sword Style Guitar. Today I'm going to be talking about doing what you have to do what you want. Doing what you want ultimately is something that runs very, very deep. Extremely deep. Extremely deep. It's something that it takes a lot of time to work towards, and you have to overcome a ton of obstacles in order to get there. Okay, so we have something called social conditioning. Social conditioning is what you're supposed to do. It's an unspoken belief of the trajectory of your life. So basically, your life is supposed to go... If you live in America, okay, and you were brought up on American ideals, what is your life supposed to look like? Your life is supposed to probably look something like this, if you're a guy. Your life is supposed to be that you go to school, you get good grades, you play in the football team, you get your varsity jacket, you get your high school sweetheart, you go to college, you get to a good school either on a scholarship for your brain or your varsity jacket, cool football skills, and then I'm not downplaying the hard work it takes to be good at football or the academic merits of anybody, but I'm saying this is what you're supposed to do. So you get those things, you get into a top tier school, an Ivy League school, and then you go there and you excel. Maybe you have your fun there. That's where you have your fun. You have your fun in college. You expand a little bit, you get your degree, and then when you get out of college, if this were 10 years ago or 15 years ago, you get a job. You elevate yourself to get a job, and then from there, you marry your high school sweetheart. You and her get back together at the 10-year reunion, and you hook up, and you have a fiery romantic relationship, and then you wind up getting back together, and it's beautiful, and it feels really good, and that's awesome. But for a lot of people, I would actually venture to say that most people, it doesn't really pay dividends for them to follow that. And, in effect, we've been lied to in a lot of ways. For instance, if you've gone to school, that, your 4-year degree at whatever school you went to doesn't guarantee you a job. And, even if you do get a job, you may not be satisfied with it. I've worked in the corporate environment, and I'm never going back. I made that commitment to myself. So, back on the topic of doing what you want, it's actually pretty hard to do. And by pretty, I mean it's very hard to do. I mean, the amount of people that actually do what they want because it's what they believe is the right thing to do, very small number. Very, very small number. And, even if you say get on that path, and even say you start to figure out, what you truly like to do, what you're passionate about, what you enjoy. I'm giving you a little view of the sky behind me, Harlem skyline. Even if you do what you want fearlessly, again, the percentage of people who make it extremely small. We're all fed this belief of people who take a ulterior path, a different path, such as becoming an artist or something. Well, we're fed this culture like you just win success. You may get success like the lottery or something, like your name is picked out of a damn hat. Truth is, no. Just no. Anybody who's on top right now, Kobe Bryant, who's on top, Jay-Z, those guys deserve to be on top because they put in the work. They did what they wanted to do. And how do you get there? Okay? How do you get to doing what you want to do in life? Well, there's a ton of obstacles, okay? Nobody's going to approve of your decision, I'm like holding myself back right now because this is really passionate to me. This inspires me. Nobody is going to want you to do what you want to do, okay? Everybody wants to put their 2 cents in. Everybody wants to have something to say about what you're doing, okay? And especially if you're living, okay, say that you take a self-improvement, self-actualization path to your life, okay? And it's not going to a job. You realize, like, I've done the corporate thing, and you know what? I don't like it. I don't like working for somebody else, making them money for something that I don't believe in, being inside all day, and having no social skills, and not doing something that I actually believe in. You know? Like, I don't believe that I have to wait till I get a pension to be happy. You know, think about that. You know, that's part of the social story too. You have to wait till you have a pension or you make enough money, then you can travel, and then you can do your little ridiculous. I'm here to tell you that it's ridiculous, not founded in reality at all, but no judgment at all. If that's what you do, you know, I'll keep my judgments to myself. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do, but my opinion remains the same. You know, do what you want, always, unequivocally. Deep down from the pit of your soul, do soul searching and find out what you want to do, what makes you happy, and do it on a day-to-day basis. You know, most people wait for the weekend to be happy, to do what they want, to go out and have fun. And, you know, that just doesn't, to a guy like me, that doesn't really make much sense in my world. So, I apologize for cursing. Like I said, it inspires passion in me. So, what are some obstacles that you may encounter when doing what you want? Well, your parents, your girlfriend, if you have one, your friends, your way of life, you know? In order to make change, it's going to be very uncomfortable for you. And that's kind of a barrier to a lot of people, because a lot of people believe that because it doesn't feel good, it's a reason to not do it. And that's ridiculous. That's just a terrible reason to not do something. If it doesn't feel good and you do it anyway, that puts you apart from everybody else. You know, the reason it's hard is because it separates the cream from the crop. You know, if you want to be special, do the hard thing. It's the way it is. In regards to your parents, it all depends on your parents, obviously. Some people have different relationships. Everybody has different walks of life. But generally speaking, in America, if your parents or your friends or older friends, they're all probably walking that path, that social story, you know? And if you say, you know what, I love skiing, okay? Or take music. Say in music, because this is what this is about. Say in music, you say, I love music, okay? This is my life, all right? I'm gonna make the best music I can do, and if you don't like it, too bad. If you made that decision, good job. You're about 10 steps ahead of everybody else. But if you're sort of in the process of discovering that for yourself, keep going and don't give up. We'll do it together. So, if you do that, you're going to encounter all types of stuff. You know, people telling you what to do, people whispering in your ear about what the right decision is. And frankly, it doesn't matter. Their opinion doesn't matter. What matters is that you put in the work and you take right action towards your goal. You know, if your goal is to, be in a really successful band, well, you gotta have to work. You're just gonna have to work. You're gonna have to take daily action to integrate that as part of yourself. You know, you have to start. You have to basically go from your old self to a new self. You know, that's part of what this is gaining skill and gaining value. You know, ultimately, you want to be a high value musician. And, you achieve your goals. For me, that's my goal anyway. So, look, back on topic. I'm actually a little bit lightheaded today because I didn't eat yet. But, irrelevant. What this is about is doing what you want, unequivocally, undoubtedly, straight path, boom, to the target, run at it. Take it, grab it, seize it. Carpe diem. Everything. That's all that matters in life. You really have to, take all this knowledge, take what I'm sharing with you, take what other people are sharing with you, and make it part of your life. Don't wait till you're 60 to be happy. Go out and be happy now. And what makes you be happy is doing what you want. Do what you want. And that doesn't mean veg out at all. That means actually, taking action for what you believe in. If you have an idea, what interests me is your idea and then what you did about it. What doesn't interest me is your excuses as to why you can't do it yet. You can do it right now. Okay? You can do it right now, and I don't care about your job, and I don't care about, your previous relationships. Make time for it. And that may sound harsh, but you know what? Life is short, and we only have so many days left, and guess what? Time is your most valuable commodity. If you went into a hospital and asked somebody with cancer who only had a month to live, if you told them, your reason for not doing something, they would probably want to kill you because they don't have that chance anymore. Time is a more valuable commodity to them than some money in a paycheck. So, I recognize that these are kind of angry rants, and, I'm kind of a little low blood sugar, so I'm cranky. I'm cranky. But, it's just what comes out of me, and, I think I'm doing a good thing by sharing this stuff. So, I hope that somebody digs what I'm saying, and I'll be making more videos later. So right now I'm trying to avoid confrontation because I'm walking through the hood, and I've just been yelling this stuff while I walk through the hood. I don't know if you can see where I'm at, but yeah, kind of gangster little neighborhood. But you gotta understand, I gotta make time for this, and I was lazy all day because I stayed out late last night, and now I have to make the video. I have to make at least one video a day. So with all that said, I'm gonna get off the phone because there's this shit coming at me. Alright guys, I'll see you later.